Back on the... Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a Veve OMI update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love y'all. Everyone say hello, Dashy. Hello, Dashy. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. No super chats because it's a video. Okay, we'll start off with the... I guess we'll start off with the Bojack real quick. Bojack is up a little bit. It was actually down to under 400,000. It was down to like 330,000 at one point. Up a little bit now, about 7% on the day to 470,000 in for the market cap. The volume is atrocious. It was like 50,000 yesterday. It is down to like 20,000 right now. Really not good volume. You definitely need more than that in order for this. But that being said, there's not a ton of liquidity for that. Anyone can come in, pump it right back up. I do know most of the top wallets in there. Unsure how many of those will sell. Again, these are just my things that I'm working on just for fun. This isn't really like, I didn't put like $10,000 into it or anything. I did put 7,500 into GrumpyCat though. And that 7,500 is like 1,500 right now. It is like a $1.2 million market cap. So it is a bit better. And it does have a lot more volume. It does 122,000 in volume. It does more than 6 figures every day. It doesn't exactly do what OMI does, but it's just, again, kind of we're just waiting for that utility, waiting for the comic, the game, and other stuff to come out. Kind of similar with Bojack. We're not doing a comic of Bojack. We're doing some other stuff. And then you do have OMI, which is up actually 3% on the day, up to 000625 at 717,000 in volume. I guess the low was about 000599. So it did get fairly low today. What we got here? So some sentiment yesterday on the podcast, or it wasn't my podcast, it was Jordan Riz's Around the Akomiverse. I was the most bearish one there. Everyone else is just like, hey, what is the price prediction for the end of 2024? All right, well, I'd say you could do a 20x from here, which would be about 1.2 cents, give or take. And Dr. Stuff and Crypto Rain, which are arguably smarter than me in a lot of different areas, and this area is probably going to be one of them. They all said no, the pendulum will swing back the other way, and it will come back with a vengeance, and they're all saying multiple cents by the end of 2024, like 4, 5, or 6 cents. They're kind of making fun of Wes, just be like, oh yeah, $3 to $5 maybe. I think we can get that eventually. I don't think we could really get that until like maybe the 2030s, early 2030s, but anyway, so the reason why I was so bearish is because I don't believe that OMI will hit its peak until 2025, like a good year and change after the halving. So, you know, and the halving's not till what, April? So yeah, I would say 2025, where I do believe we can hit 8 to 10 cents. And that's, I think, what we should hit. I don't think we should hit 20 or 30 cents, but we still could, just, you know, reasons. It does, speaking of which, is the bull market back yet? I don't know. You have Bitcoin at $44,000 right now, 44.1. It actually was almost 45 at one point. Oh, no, I'm sorry, it was not. It was 44.5 at one point. But it's, what is it? It's up 5.6 on the day. Let's see what it was over the last 16% over the last 7 days. But on the day, it was actually about 5.6. Ethereum up 3%. BNB and XRP are relatively flat. BNB down just like 0.5%, really not too much. Solana up 3.2%, about Lido Stakes up 2.6%, Cardano up 4.4%, and Dogecoin up 5.5%. Some of the top 100 are doing fairly well. Avalanche is up 15%. I'll only really be going over ones with plus 10% or more. Like we had Celestia, dear Princess Celestia, up 20% on the day. And again, this is just for the day. It's not for the week or anything. Ordi, ORDI, up 23.5%. Going a little further into the, you have the Pyth network, number 82 is up 10%, and that should be it for the top 100. No, Beam, BEAM is up over 10%. So there's a decent amount of the top 100 that is up in the double digits. So shout out to them for that. I'm going to go over my favorite piece. We'll save the Marvel Mighties and all the other stuff. Well, we'll start with one of the Marvel Mighties. We have Sleeping Comics posted saying, oh yes, I have all the Marvel Mighty sets. Who's with me? Is there a Marvel Mighties badge at Veve Official? And then he adds Dr. Prophet saying, is that something we can see with your new tool? Basically, Dr. Prophet's new tool is Stacker. It's STAKR. Is it KR or CKR? Let me find out. I would need it. It's STACKR.world. So basically, it's not open to everyone yet. It first was open to a small group of people, me included. Then it was open up to gold member logos. Then it opened up to people that had 10 million OMI in their app or more. Then it had partner statue, and now I think it's anyone that has like I think like Captain America, Secret Rare or something like that. It's just opening up to more people all the time, just rewarding collectors. Hey, if you have this or X, Y, or Z, you will be able to get it. But it will open up to everyone eventually. So you could go there and find a couple of different things. One of my favorite things to do, and I've gone over this before, so skip like 30 seconds if you don't want to see this. Over on the Stacker app, it'll just have the top Veve collectors and collectibles as partner statues, Secret Rare Spider-Man, Todd McFarlane, a bunch of those things. And one of my favorite things to do is go to the leaderboards over here. And when you do, you get to see your rank on every single one. What your rank is on Veve, how many collectibles you have, Marvel, etc. I like to go to Marvel. I'm only number 273, so it's really not very big. You see the top Marvel wallets. Bojack at 29,000, a couple of other people at 14,000 each. But I really like going to the sub 100, and then guess what you see? Chavez Megacity at number 3, having the third most amount of sub 100 Marvel collectibles in the entire app, beaten out only by Dr. Prophet and some dude, I don't know his name. But that's just really fun. Yeah, let's go over some other stuff here too. Hopefully Sleepin is able to get. And Sleepin should actually have that already because he has a. Yeah, he should have that already. Won't say what he has just in case he wants to keep that private. But that Marvel Mighties did about $35,000. It is the only Marvel Mighties to not sell out, even though it's the only one that's animated with sound. So I think that's really interesting. And then, if that wasn't enough, we have another Marvel Mighties today that was just announced. I was in the gym in between sets doing some skull crushes, and then suddenly, notification, Veve tweets, "Oh, Veve, what did you tweet?" And when I tell you, I screamed out, "Great Caesar's ghost!" And like literally people around me stopped, and I was like, I had to go, and because we are getting a new Marvel Mighties set. They threw us for a loop. I thought we would go and get a Marvel Mighties for the Marvels movie, but that movie didn't do so hot. I mean, I kind of did. I'm going to go off for a rant about this for 1 second. It was the largest domestic opening for November of 2023. It opened bigger than any Thanksgiving 2023 release, higher domestic gross than the other films on 3,000 plus screens, which included Gran Turismo, Shazam, Killer of Flower Moon, and The Creator, and then 85% Rotten Tomatoes score, higher than a lot of MCU films such as Quantumania, Iron Man 3, Eternals, Thor, Captain America, Thor 2, and Iron Man 2. So this actually did beat out a bunch of other Marvel movies. But I feel like saying a fun movie in a declining market really doesn't fit the narrative. I feel like a lot of people do want to go and kind of, be really salty about it. Anyway, Veve goes out and posts, "The Avengers are a unique, handpicked assemblage of super beings, adventurers, and crime fighters devoted to protecting the planet. 6 Marvel Mighties drop in a blind box waitlist format on 10 December, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time." I had to go and message Fanny Carbonell. We're doing a podcast. It was supposed to be at the exact time of the release of these. Fanny, can we move it 1 hour? I have to go and get these. I have to freak out about these. And then she says, "Yeah, of course, Rand, we can do that." So okay, thank you for that. It doesn't exactly say which Marvel Mighties we get. You see the little red and white Veve logo down there. And then you see in here, going from my right to left, it's going to be Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury. So not the Nick Fury from the comics. This is Nick Fury from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, obviously played by Samuel L. Jackson. And then you do have, it doesn't exactly say which one this is. We do know it is Scarlet Witch. She's in her full getup. Unsure if it's from the comics or if it's Elizabeth Olsen's Scarlet Witch. And then the last one, you do have War Machine. Ooh, not Iron Man, War Machine. It's one of my favorite taglines from, I think it's Marvel versus Capcom. When you go and you win, it says Marvel, not War Machine, not Iron Man, which I thought is really heckin' cool. It doesn't say exactly which one it was or which one who he's based off of, but obviously we could just call him Rhodey for short. Really, really love him. I don't know if it's just those 3 or if we're getting more, but there's going to be a lot more. And I think what I might title this video is Wolverine 2024. When are we going to get him? I don't think it's going to be in here. To this date, we don't have any X-Men in the entire Marvel Mighties, with the exception of X-Men Deadpool. You can go over and take a look at the Marvel Mighties. Like, we have other X-Men on the app. Like, we have Storm, who's really heckin' cool. She's one of the most powerful Omega level mutants you'll ever see. in the comics anywhere. Some people do kind of argue about the Fantastic Four. Well, the radiation changed their DNA. Yes, their DNA did mutate, but I wouldn't exactly call them mutants. Like, they weren't born with that gene. They might have had that gene, and that might be how they explain it in the MCU. But it wasn't them. It wasn't Captain Carter. None of the Eternals or any of the Spider-Man really count. The only one that really would count is the X-Men Deadpool that you see down there. And he's not even a first appearance. That first appearance goes to the Deadpool statue, goes to the Static statue, or the one with the Christmas sweater, etc. But we had some new footage today of Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, Deadpool and Wolverine, filming Deadpool 3. So it's kind of the last thing. They were almost done filming before the writer's strike happened. And obviously you saw those two. You saw Taylor Swift, Blake Lively, and a couple other people go to a couple of 49ers games during the writer's strike because they didn't really have much to do. And then afterwards, now that it's over, they're back to filming. It's really cool. You go and you see not only those two, but you see Tyler Mane's version of Sabretooth, so he's coming back. There's a giant list of people that's coming back. Ben Affleck's Daredevil is coming back. The Elektra, the OG Elektra of Carmen Electra, she'll be coming back as Elektra. Drop all the links to your fire memes down below. I cannot wait for that. Her sister, who's played by Kristen Prout, I'm pretty sure she's coming back. I really hope she is. I really liked her in Kyle XY and then one episode of Beyond Belief Fact or Fiction. Anyway, so you have them that's coming back. You have that guy Ray Park who plays Toad. He'll be back there. So these could all possibly be like the entire X-Men universe, the entire Fox Marvel universe could be coming to the Marvel Mighties next year. Right now, Deadpool 3 is the only live-action Marvel movie that's coming out next year. Now, you have a couple of other things that aren't exactly Marvel in-house. You have the stuff from Sony, like you have Madam Web, which looks really good. I really want to see that. You have Kraven the Hunter. I think you have a Spider-Verse movie. So there is a couple of other things that's going on. It's just not Marvel like in-house in the main MCU. So I would say that because this is the only thing, they might have a couple of Marvel Mighties drops for this and say hello to some of those X-Men. If we get Wolverine, that might be what they're saving it for. If anyone remembers, we've had the Jurassic Park license for like 4 years. And why did we only get it in 2021? Well, it was because of the movie. When the movie came out, or 2022, I'm sorry. When did that come out? I didn't want to say the wrong thing. In June of 2022, it was ready a full year before that, but they're like, no, let's wait for the movie. So that's why we didn't get it until June of 2022. So a lot of things like Wolverine, like David's been teasing that comic, probably could have been dropped already, but Marvel, and they might just be like, hey, let's just wait until the movie comes out, which should be next year. So oh my God, I can't wait. You have no idea. Speaking of movies, that Godzilla X Kong trailer, oh my heckin' goodness. Oh my great googly moogly. When you have Kong, you have Son of Kong, you have Kong with his new like infinity gauntlet that he has, and then you have Godzilla with the purple. Oh my God, can we please get those? I will absolutely lose my goddamn mind. I love them. Anyway, so that's my reasoning on why I think Wolverine will come to the Veve app in 2024. It could be in line with, I could be completely off on this, but that is my reasoning, and I can't wait. So comment down below all your favorite theories, your favorite characters, who you hope shows up in that movie. So moving on, we have Kathy Wood going, say, the U.S. Space Force major urges Defense Department to adopt Bitcoin as an offset strategy. Lowry suggested that Bitcoin and its underlying POW technology could serve as contemporary tools in an offset strategy, potentially redefining the landscape of cyber warfare and cyber defense. Hit the nail right on the head. What better way to go and outlast your enemies or be able to outspend your enemies than to go and invest in Bitcoin? It's something that is not technically a depreciating asset, but people lose it all the time. Like, there's never going to be 21 million Bitcoin, even after all of it's mined. It's just going to be, hey guys, so many people lost it. So many people sent it to the wrong wallet. So many people have had it in their wallets. They have their wallets physically in their hand, but they just don't know the passwords. They lost their seed phrase, so they can't get at it. That would be a much better, like, what happened with FTX and Ukraine? Well, a lot of the aid that was given, to Ukraine by the U.S., hey, we can't spend all of this money at once. 50 billion at one time is a lot. We'll spend X amount of billion, whatever the run rate is. But what's the best way to go about it? To make this money last longer, let's give it to FTX. So yeah, a lot There's a lot of stuff like happened with that. Anyway, that's one of the best ways I think to outlast any enemy. You can continue to out-innovate, which the U.S. does, but in order to go and make sure you have to inflate your budget, this Bitcoin is probably one of the best things that the U.S. could do, or the U.S. military could do. I should make a call about that. Shout out to Charles Delgado, says another 3-digit locked in the comic vault. He got Fantastic Four number 66 at number 208. You can't see that, it's too bright. I don't know why my phone does that. At number 208, so that's a really good number. That's really, really low. And this dude is number 72 MCP level, has almost 2 million points, 1.89 million points. So shout out to him for that. There's been a lot of people. If you track the Veve low mint or at Veve mint over on Twitter or on the X, it shows you all the people still buying all of these sub 100s. We originally just got a Batgirl uncommon sold on Veve, number 56. We just have, again, it's just a bunch of those all the heckin' time. Oh, that's what it was. So Dr. Prophet says, secret rare holders of Marvel Comic number 1 and Amazing Fantasy 15, you are in for Stacker. So you can go and start playing with that right now. I took a picture. You can't really see it, but Boss Man of Mine has 4, count them, 4 marshmallows. Sorry, SpongeBob reference. 4 sub 100 Thanos copters, the number 57, 66, 84, and 54. The number 54, I think he got on the drop. Lucky duck. And shout out to Clever Jerk when he posted on the app yesterday. He's saying, Spider-Man set complete today. Welcome home. Secret rare mint number 600. This dude is an absolute powerhouse mad lad. Surprised he didn't have any of the secret rares already. But when it's at like $3,900, this one might have been more. But when it was at $3,500, I think 5 secret rare Spider-Man had sold. I think 5 secret rare Spider-Man, and I don't know how many Miles Morales sold this month, but Sergio did something, and I'll read it eventually, where he goes and says, oh, hey, guess what? You're going to have a really, really hard time believing this, but a large amount of Miles Morales secret rare had sold. So people aren't just going and spending a couple $100s on this, couple $100 on that. It's thousands, or sometimes close to tens of thousands of dollars that they're spending each and every day. Speaking of people spending stuff, when I was mentioning Deadpool 3 before, Logan star Daphne Keane has reportedly signed a deal to return as Laura Kinney, aka X-23, in Deadpool 3. So we do have the NYX number 3 over in the app. So I do think a lot of people are going to try to stack that just because she's a really popular character. Like, she really only spoke in screams in the Logan movie, but she was epic. Daughter goals AF. And she's coming back now kind of as an older version for her, almost as an adult, for X-23 for Deadpool 3. Really can't wait to see that. Moving on. Yeah, actually 3 secret rare Spider-Man sold yesterday in one day. That's heckin' nuts. They were all to different wallets too. So it was 3 different people doing that. I was talking to Foster Hill today, really trying to get him to go to France. He's still not 100% sure. It is largely going to be a Veve thing, even though they will talk about the token there. It is a crypto conference. Despite it being a crypto conference, the team will mostly talk about Veve. They will, that David had confirmed, they will mention the token. They will talk about it. The expiry date that they were talking about does end in like the next X amount of weeks before they go there. So I was telling Foster, hey, you should go to France. Come see me. Now, you know, we, for those of you that do not know, we had roomed together in New York Comic Con in 2022, and he is now my forever bae. Anyway, I was just telling him about that. I was like, hey, you should really come. It'd be a lot of fun, even if they don't need you, like, to work, even if they don't go and pay your ticket. You should really come and just hang out. Comment down below if you'd want to see him there. Be advised, guys, when they hired Foster, I feel like I haven't gone on and really talked about this too much in depth. This is going to be they wouldn't hire someone and then hire another, open the Discord, and then have another community manager for the Discord, like a Discord mod manager, if they weren't going to have stuff soon. Like back in the day, you know, this is a lot different than the last pre-bull or bull run. Like back in the day, the Immutable X integration took forever. Like they didn't realize the technical complexity and migrating your all of your metadata was going to take as long as it did. It was supposed to be really quickly and done in 2021, but obviously didn't get done until 2022. But then they had some App Store issues as well. They had that international money laundering investigation that had to go on because people illegally taking other people's credit cards, et cetera, and they had the bot combat. They just had a ton to deal with in 2022. Obviously, at the end of 22, they said, okay, enough's enough. They hire Mitch, they hire Nestor. The app has insane improvements, and they should be ready to rock and roll. So again, that's part of the reason why my why my prediction was a 20x and why I was the most bearish yesterday. But a 20x for the OMI token. Again, it's my prediction, not financial advice. But again, this is just, in general, this is tech. Like why people say, oh, Chavez, aren't you worried? You're not. No, this is tech. I mean, we're finally getting the Cybertruck deliveries for some people 4 years after it was announced. I'm supposed to get it years ago. Again, this just happens, so I'm not worried. I'm very, very excited. Super excited. Shout out to Bill Gardner, says, let's go. Congratulations. He's actually a one full thing ahead of me. He's level 54 MCP level. I'm only 53. But again, shout out to him for that. I will try to catch him eventually. Maybe I'll go and catch him after these next Mighty sets come out. I'm gonna spend so much money. I'm gonna spend so much heckin' money. I'm not ready. I'm not gonna be able to go to France. Be advised, McFarlane Digital got hacked. Go to their Discord, go to their Twitter. They give you full urgency updates regarding XP, regarding what you need for further assistance. I'm not going to read all of them there, but yeah, don't touch anything until you read that. Moving on, we have Collectibles Guru saying massive losses. This is the Ja Morant sale represents one of the biggest losses ever recorded in such a short period of time. Sold on 30 April 2022 for $518,400, and then it sold on Saturday, just a couple days ago, for just under $56,000. So the hold time was 1.5 years, and the loss was $462,416.64. That is a 89.2% loss. There's no, gem. There's no like gem squeezes. There's no any like. This is just when things go down on Veve. People are like, oh, it's because of Veve. This is the entire collectibles market, a lot of gold and silver stuff, just a lot of stuff in general. So again, wasn't just Veve, and a couple of things are picking up. I believe the gold and silver Veve logo, which was born in the bear market, has only really ever gone up. Oh, and here's the thing with Miles Morales. So 8 Miles Morales Spider-Man Secret Rare collectible statues have sold over the last 30 days, from as low as 6,600 to as high as 8,950. So that's roughly about 2 per week. The total volume is 64,323. So think about that for just a moment. A single collectible with a circulating supply of 250 editions has generated 64,000 in volume in just the last month alone. That's almost double the amount that the Thanos copter did yesterday. And this is happening during the worst bear market the space has ever experienced. Pretty amazing when you think about it. Agreed. And then you have Octavian NFT says, at Willie Rex YouTube is still here, is still buying. As in questioning, are you still buying? He's a guy that's just really, really big. At 8.8 million followers on the Twitter. Been really hoping for him to go and post a video about OMI at some point, or about Veve. But again, you do have this guy, Octavian NFTs, that I guess he had gone and mentioned that he had bought some type of Veve NFT to him, and he's still asking, hey, are you still here? Who knows? He may or may not be. We shall see. So there is going to be a couple of really cool people coming on the podcast over the next couple months, like super fantastic. A lot of people will know who they are. But first is the number 200. So I go and post on Twitter today. My podcast is very important to me. I've had CEOs, royalty, movie stars, politicians, etc. So for my 200th podcast, it had to be special. Shout out to Jeremy Padower for agreeing to be my 200th guest. We'll talk about jazzwares, our favorite toys, our love of life, Veve and OMI, and more. Tuesday, 12 December, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we talk about it all. I will post the link at some point on Twitter. I can't wait for that. I love that man so much. Moving on. So somebody did go and receive an airdrop of the gold and silver Veve logo, meaning they had a card and they redeemed it, number 464, and it was to Keynn, Keyninn, whoever that is. They happened to go and get it. Keynn, I guess? That could make sense. Veve did announce more Lambo. The 350 GT is the car that heralded Lamborghini's official entry into production, setting the stage for an automotive revolution. For interactive digital collectibles, drop in blind box waitlist format on 9 December at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. I love you guys. Goodbye. Meow, meow, meow. Sleeping hat. Meow.